Good evening, Cornell, and welcome back to a brand new season of Ezra's Report, Slope TV's first and only news program dedicated to bringing you hard news, and lots of it.
In tonight's program, we'll cover everything from talking vaginas to Girl Scouts. But for the misogynists tuning out at those headlines, we promise to cover sports. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Drew, and this is Ezra's Report. In local news, Ithaca was recently named one of the top cities for patent issuance, ranking 19th in the nation. Ithaca issued 97 patents in the past year. 96 of these patents were for marijuana smoking apparatuses, the 97th being a mass manual.
In other local happenings, last week Ithaca Mayor Svante Myrick revealed his big plan for parking benefits districts in Ithaca, in which his high parking demand neighborhoods will have input on how their parking meter revenue gets used. Many citizens are already tweeting about how to spend the estimated revenue of $15 whole. One local man suggested the 555 deal at Domino's, as he tweeted yesterday saying, #bargain, #winning. You know, Drew, all this talk of pizza is making me pretty hungry.
Well, gee, what for, Hannah?
For cookies. That's right. The time has come. They've made it into campus. They've weaseled their way into our dining halls, and if we let them, they'll make their way into our own homes. They travel in packs and bear militant vests covered in the hardware of their peanut butter-filled regime. This threat calls itself the Girl Scouts.
That's right, Cornell. No longer will you be guilt-tripped on Hope Plaza to buy Krispy Kremes for charity, because now you and your thighs have a new burden to bear, turning down a Girl Scout.
And if you happen to miss one, at Wegmans, AC Moore, or even CTV, you guessed it, there's an app for that. Just type in your zip code and the Girl Scouts Cookie Finder will find you the nearest booth to rate for Thin Mints. The app is free, but of course the cookies are still ridiculously overpriced.
In other campus news, it's time for a segment we like to call Events on Campus Sure to Traumatize Tour Groups. This past week, spirited young vagina enthusiasts stood on Hope Plaza. Let's try that again. Last week, theater enthusiasts proclaimed their feminism outside of Willard Strait. One last time, students advertised the upcoming annual production of the Vagina Monologues, a play about empowering women and their anatomy. Talk of the play's promotion tactics, holding giant fabric vaginas, spread as quickly and contagiously as an STD. Ironic. Those advertising the play shouted at passerbys while holding the fabric vaginas and promising good luck to those willing to stroke the clitoris. Said one exhausted rower, "I stroked enough this morning." Overall, though, the promotions were a success. The most grateful, all Valentine's singles who were able to brag about seeing a vagina that day after all. Sweet, really.
For the rest of campus, Valentine's Day seemed to be a promising day, as the temperature reached a high of 40 degrees and allowed for the ladies to shed their shapeless parkas and finally resemble their Tinder profiles. Here to comment on the 14th, Cupid.
Hey, Hannah.
Hello, Cupid.
How y'all doing?
All right, so why don't you tell us about the romance you saw around campus?
Hannah, there was hella romance. Hella romance everywhere. I hovered up at Willow Strait and saw a few couples on dates. They were going to see the new movie and documentary, and a few of them even got laid, actually. And if you get the first base, disappointment. Every single climbing rose was taken out of the net, and a few of them got used. You gotta be safe. And one smooth freshman even swiped his date in the dining hall.
Oh, that's romance. And how did that go?
He got laid, actually. I was really surprised. I was like, oh, this Cornell.
All right. Anything Cornellians didn't get right?
Carnations or a poor man's rose. This is Ivy League, fellas. Roses are not going to break that trust fund. Get in your pockets. Come on.
Do you have any advice for next year?
Well, ain't nobody got time for that. No.
Well, where can we find you in the meantime?
On the corner of Easton Tower, I take BRBs, cash, check, white
okay,
Cupid, chocolate.
Thank you.
You know,
all
if
right.
you want to, that's my favorite.
Okay.
In sports news, senior distance runner Nick Wade recently broke the school record for the shortest mile time. With a time of 3:59.998, Wade is the first Cornellian to ever run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Wade commented on the slim margin of completion by astutely stating, "That was close." And when he was asked directly after the race how he felt about being the first runner to break 4 minutes, Wade responded, "Tired."
Nationally, the drama between Los Angeles Lakers star players Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard continues to escalate as family members have recently been thrust into the media spotlight. In an interview on ESPN last week, Dwight Howard's father criticized Bryant's selfishness on the court. In response, Bryant's 9-year-old aunt and uncle wrote an op-ed in the New York Times calling Howard a crybaby and a daddy's boy. Howard's baby cousin Malik then convincingly closed the debate during an NPR interview with the timeless adage,
Stay tuned for next week's episode where we'll interview students who wait in suspense for the opening of the suspension bridge. I'm Drew.
And I'm Hannah, and this has been Ezra's Report.